So, apparently, Trae Young got traded from the Hawks to the Wizards. So this is a part of me catching up with the NBA because I don't even know which is the better team right now. In 2026, I don't know which team is the better team. I don't know if the Hawks is a better team than the Wizards. I don't know who is more prepared to go on a deeper playoff run. And this is why this is why I'm catching back up. We're going to be checking out Kenny for real. Because he's actually Kenny for real. Am I right, people? But yeah, we're gonna see what's up with them. Y'all, I've always liked Trae Young because of his celebration. He had like this celebration before it got colonized by Cole Palmer. But I was always a fan of Trae Young. Thought he had a cool celebration. Thought it was pretty clutch. I thought he was gonna be the next Stephen Curry. I thought he was gonna come in. I thought he was gonna come to the league, snatch Curry's chain, because he was really bombing from three when he first came into the league, shooting from deep. He was doing some prime Curry stuff. He had like off and on prime Curry highlights, but the consistency never really came through. You know what I mean? He's not really the chosen one. He's not the Lisan Al-Gaib like we thought he was, and that's okay. You could still be a top 5 shooter in the all-time of the NBA. That's still very impressive. So, without further ado, let's get into Kenny's video. Drop him a like. Y'all drop him a like. Go to Kenny's shit. He's a smaller YouTuber. Tell him, yo, send him some love. You know what I'm saying? Send him some love. Help him get his shit to 1 million. You know what I'm saying? Tell him I sent you there.
Has been fulfilled, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking at what's happening on Twitter and trending right now. It says no picks. Trae Young was just traded to the Washington Wizards for CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert, and that's it. That's it. We knew this was going to happen, right? We've known for like 8 hours at this point that they were just trying to figure it out, and now I'm trying to figure out why did it take 8 hours if there was no picks involved. In my mind, they're negotiating protections on picks, and that's why we've been waiting. No, maybe it was done hours ago, but they want to wait.
Maybe that's what happened. Actually, maybe they were actually talking picks, and the Hawks found a way to convince Washington that they don't need any picks. They're getting like Trae Young or something. I don't know.
Atlanta Hawks are still playing right now. In my mind, it's like, well, we just gonna wait for both of their games to be over. Nope, the Atlanta Hawks are still rolling as we record this episode, but it's done. The Washington Wizards emerged as a trade suitor for Trae Young, and then Trae Young added him to his list of teams. So again, we've known it was going to be done. So much so that Shams Charania has a goddamn Photoshop. Usually, if there's going to be true breaking news that nobody was expecting, Shams don't have time to get that Photoshop. He got to get that tweet out. But he had somebody in the ESPN graphics department said, put Trae Young in that ugly ass jersey, and they said, "Bet we got you."
Yo,
and now
what?
He plays for the Washington Wizards.
You think the jersey ugly?
Insane. Even though
I don't think it's bad.
Happening. Trae Young is 27 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He's one of the greatest players in Atlanta Hawks history. He's like top 5. I'm not going off the top of my mind, but like Dominique and Bob Pettit and Dikembe, Pete Maravich. Okay, that's 4 already. Lou Hudson, maybe not. Maybe he's like top 6, top 7, right? He's one of those top guys in the history of the franchise. He's only 27 years old. Mm-hmm. And he basically, I just got to check my phone real quick, just make sure this Shams notification ain't nothing new. It's not. He basically just got salary dumped at 27 years old. They traded him away for an expiring deal. That's where their head was at. They were so fed up with the Trae Young era that they salary dumped him and didn't get any draft capital in return. 2 years ago, if I would have set you down and said, hey, man, you know that guy Trae Young that just led the league in assists and in scoring this season? Well, he's about to get traded. You're going to ask me to who, for one. You're going to ask me how many picks? Is there protections? Is there swaps involved? And I'm going to have to sit you down and say, no picks. That's crazy. That's crazy, y'all. But that's the real life.
Let me know in the comments. Is that really crazy? Is that because, like I said, I haven't been in the NBA for a while. I know picks. I know trades are becoming like a very strategic part of the NBA now, right? Because it really helps with rebuilds and all of these stuff and turning our favorite teams back into championship contenders and stuff like that. But I'm getting back into it, so I'm learning slowly like how the negotiations go now in this era, in the 2020s era, Apparently, picks is very important. And you could protect them now. You could trade picks. Yeah.
Nature of this.
Niggas just treating trades like it's cards.
It says, the trade ends. Youngston is the face of the Atlanta Hawks to send the 27-year-old to his preferred destination in the nation's capital. Top Wizards official Michael Winger and Will Dawkins have searched to anchor their young talent in the next step of the team's development. And we're going to talk about that in a second because I don't want to toot my own horn, but I literally pitched this to the Wizards on this channel. Before anybody was talking about the Wizards being suitors, I said the Wizards should trade for Trae Young right now. And then 3 days later, they traded for Trae Young. Again, for every right prediction I have, I got 37 wrong ones. But I'm going to take my
So you telling me the Wizards are taking trade advice from a YouTuber, my nigga?
Like I win all the time. Next one. The Hawks are poised to turn the page on a new era with the emergence of Jalen Johnson and others, bringing a much more fluid style of play around their wings. They say, Trae Young, you're a ball stopper, bro. Shams Charania just said you don't pass the ball. In the Florida offense, you only pass the ball for assists. That's not my words, it's Shams Charania's words. McCollum serves the valuable plug-and-play veteran while holding $30.6 million expiring deal, which is true. CJ McCollum is definitely plug-and-play. And I actually kind of like him on this team. Not an expensive Trae Young, but we're going to talk about that. Moving Young also provides Atlanta with the added financial flexibility to pursue a large salary over the next several months, with Dallas Mavericks star Anthony Davis as a prime in-season trade target. So the Atlanta Hawks might not be done. Here's that buzzword. We just dropped a video like 6 hours ago about the world of aprons and the world of financial flexibility, and boom, the Atlanta Hawks.
I gotta start following Shams on Twitter
for the opportunity to maybe do something later. That's what financial flexibility is. We want the opportunity to maybe get something done hypothetically in a different world, you know. But it's done. It's done. All right, so let's talk about this from the Washington Wizards perspective, since they are the one getting in the Trae Young talent. In that video, where I pitched that they should be interested. Basically, it was just process elimination, right? Looking at all the other 29 teams across basketball, should they or would they be interested in the Atlanta Hawks? And my pitch for the Washington Wizards is that this team right now has the young core that you care about as of today. Like, they got a lot of young players, and whether you care about a player can shift from year to year. We may have somebody down even mentioned on the roster right now as far as not being a part of the real core that can have an amazing offseason, and all of a sudden they're one of the best players. But between Sarr, George, and Johnson, those are the three I would say. And some other young guys, like Carrington started off poorly. He's starting to hit his three-point ball a little bit more. But those three guys right there, I think, can benefit with the idea of Trae Young. This is a low risk, high reward. As we know, you gave up no trade cap. You gave up none of the players you even care about. I saw people saying, can we get AJ Johnson? Can we get
I'm going to pause this real quick right here, right? Because I don't even know what the Washington Wizards roster looks like. So what does their roster look like? Let's go here. Let's go to the official NBA, because I know sometimes Google's not all the way up. Okay, so Bilal Koulibaly. I don't know who that is. Tristan Vucevic. I don't know who that is. Cam Whitmore, don't know who that is. He's on the Hawks now. AJ Johnson, I don't know who that is. Jamar Whitkin, don't know who that is. Who are these niggas, bro? They just got a bunch of like. Okay, I know who Chris Middleton is. They got a bunch of like Marvin. I know who Marvin Bagley is. They got a bunch of like AI generated niggas, bro. This is the type of team you get after you hit like simulation for like 5 years in NBA, bro. Then you hit it again. This is what you get. But I know Chris Middleton will get you some buckets. I know Marvin Bagley, he should get you some rebounds, right? What's he averaging? 6 rebounds a game, sometimes 5, 10 points. But you getting out of Chris Middleton only giving you 10 points a game? That's nasty, dog. Okay, this Alex Sarr nigga, so he must be the starting center. Getting 17 points out of him. Okay, so who's averaging the most points on this team? It's between CJ McCollum. It's not even CJ McCollum. Oh yeah, CJ McCollum. So basically, they get Trae Young to get more points. They want more points out of their guard, basically. And then and at least he has like, I think he also got Sharif Cooper, but I'm pretty sure he got waived. So you basically have him, and then you have, what's this nigga's name again? It's not AJ Johnson. Where was he? I was just looking at him. Alex Sarr. You have Alex Sarr. It's probably gonna be pick and roll hell coming between those two. It's French. Yeah. That's gonna be some good games between. Well, yeah, you already know. What I know from Trae Young's play style is that this nigga spams pick and rolls, bro. So he's probably gonna enjoy that.
Damn, Whitmore and. No, I mean, maybe those guys are just not straight up not good. Or maybe the Hawks didn't even have the leverage to even ask for one of the young guys. I don't know. But with the 3 young guys that we really care about, they've been able to look good. I just watched the game with Alex Sarr. I didn't watch their tonight's game versus the 76ers, but their last game against the Orlando Magic yesterday. Alex Sarr is like a man against a team that has a couple men on that team, a very physical Orlando Magic team. Alex Sarr looked great. He had a couple blocks down the stretch that I'm like, man, that's amazing. And then late in this game, he caught a lob from CJ McCollum, and I kid you not, in my mind, I was thinking, that's about to be Trae Young in a couple days. And now it will be Trae Young in a couple days. Yeah. So I think Alex Sarr could benefit from having a guard like Trae Young. I think that
he's gonna find him.
Some of the shots that Trae Johnson might be able to get right now will be elite because he's already one of the better shooters in basketball. And he shoot every shot from 30 feet out. Maybe he can get a 27-foot three-point shot now that Trae Young can generate some things. So it is a low-risk, high-reward. And Shams Charania has reported this yet, but I wonder, when I saw the report earlier this morning that the Washington Wizards had become one of the top teams for Trae Young. In my mind, he had to think
he's probably a shooting guard because he's 6'5".
On giving him the extension that he's asking for. Like, just, you know how Jimmy Butler got traded to the Warriors and they immediately had an extension on the table the first day. Maybe that will still happen, don't get me wrong. But in my mind, for him to want to go to Washington, given the situation, that would be the reason for it. The Washington Wizards don't have a bad core, though. And Trae Young is just like, hey, I'm 27. I can afford to be here for a couple more seasons and help these younger dudes. And in the hypothetical that they aren't giving him the money that he's asking for, again, this guy will be off your books in just 2 years' time. And I feel like it could be more beneficial than not. It's not without risk, right? I did say low risk, high reward, but there is some risk involved because, I mean, there's a reason why no other team was really interested. Part of that is we have point guard play already. The other part is, hey, this guy is one of the worst defenders in basketball, full stop. Even in the years or the games where he's really giving his all to compete, he's 6'1" and 170, I don't know how many pounds. It's just objectively hard to be a plus defensive player right there. He also is a guy that Shams Charania has talked about having more fluid of a style of offense without him on the court. He is a pass to assist guy, and sometimes not just pass to get the offensive going. And he also doesn't move on ball. So there is the flaws within Trae Young's game, but you're asking yourself, is that worth it to take the shot on the guy that was just an all-star a couple seasons ago, or maybe even last year? I'm getting my years mixed up. Yes, the risk is worth it. Because what is the likelihood from the Washington Wizards perspective that you can get a guy in the door of Trae Young's talent for nothing? It doesn't happen. To get a guy in the Trae Young's talent, you have to give up something of value. You didn't do that in this trade. Yeah. You have to give up a year's worth of time, which is tanking. You don't have to do that. And you got a guy that's ultra talented. Now, can Brian Keefe put him and change his mindset that he's more of a benefit to this team? I don't know, but it's a risk that I would be willing to take if I was the Washington Wizards. And I don't even think this kills their tanking things. I mean, they have been a lot better as of recent. Let me see if I can look this up really, really quick. They had won like 6 games in their last 12 or something like that. I remember CJ McCollum quoted that tweet and, buddy, you're no longer on the team. In their last 2 weeks, they're 23rd in offense and 17th in defense. So you're like, Kenny, that ain't good. Well, when you think about them being 29th and 29th for the rest of the season, that is pretty damn good. You can get your defense up to about league average in 2 weeks' time. It's about to drop again. Damn, they just acquired Trae Young. But that offense should, in theory, get better. In theory, Trae Young should help some of these other.
He should definitely help the center out. The center's gonna help out, and then he does have some type of gravity where he on offense where he could pull a double team every now and then. And he kick it out to the shooting guard. But we're gonna see. I might just yapping. No, I'm not.
Guys develop.
I know basketball.
Then you can just wash your hands of it in a couple years, or not even just a couple years. There's a world where like Trae Young comes to the team and it's awful. We hate it. Why did we trade for him?
There is.
We just watched the Milwaukee Bucks stretch of Damian Lillard's contract for had 2 years left. We saw DeAndre Ayton get his contract stretched. So it happens all the time, right? So he can opt into that contract. We can stretch it because it ain't like we have a lot of salary on the books anyway. Everybody else on our team is on rookie scale deals. So again, just such a low risk, and that's a win if you ask me. Now the Hawks. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you have to trade a guy like this talent. But the writing was on the wall for quite some time. You know, when they went on that West Coast road trip and they looked really good without him, they were defending. Jalen Johnson was playing amazing. And Cassidy Walker was putting up like 23s a night. It was like, oh, snap, what's going to happen with Trae Young? I bet they wish they would have been able to trade him earlier, you know, when it would have been something more valuable. But this really is a huge bet on their ability to go in and acquire another star player alongside Jalen Johnson. And it's also, if that's not the case, right? Let's say financial flexibility is the buzzword and they aren't able to go get Anthony Davis or one of the other bigger names that might be available. Yeah. You wash your hands and you still got a hella salary cap opportunities this offseason with a top whatever pick coming in. Oh, because we traded away the 11th overall pick for the Pelicans pick, and the Pelicans still can't win basketball games. So there's a world where this is A, for them to buy right now, or B, this is a world where they could just reshuffle the deck and say Jalen Johnson's only 24 years old and a lot of the other core guys over here are still young too, and we might have a top 3 pick coming in the door. So this could go multiple different ways. Again, on paper, it's going to seem awful to trade away one of your best players in franchise history for nothing. I see.
Yeah, but this is where I'm going to end the video. So we pretty much have an understanding for it now that it was technically, you know, it wasn't the best trade. The Washington Wizards could have gotten the best, could have got a little bit more out of it, but then again, it's not like they have crazy high ambitions. It's not like the team is in an amazing spot to like go on a playoff push. We learned that. Same thing with the Hawks. Seems like both of these teams are butt ass. You know, butt ass. But we're gonna see. We're gonna keep our eyes on at least the Wizards. I don't care about the Hawks now. I just looked at their roster. It was not moving me. But we're gonna keep our eyes on the Wizards because I like to see Trae Young play every now and again. Subscribe, like, comment down below. I'm gonna talk to y'all in the next one. Bye.